Well, today I am Kira King. I'm your multidimensional energy worker, multidimensional seer, life and business coach. And in this video today, I'm going to be really walking you through the mind of a multidimensional seer. So if you are new to me, I just want to welcome you to my channel. Please hit the bell and hit subscribe and then the bell. So that way you get all of my videos when they come out fresh and new. Anyhow, we are going to begin. So I want to give you some backstory, because I usually, when I let people know how my gifts open, I get this question a lot. So I was 14 years old. I was at a church camp, and in short, the pastor called on, the healing gifts of the gifts of speaking in tongues, right? And I just remember this so vividly. I could feel some sort of sensation. Today we call it energy, right? And back then I would have called it the Holy Spirit. It could have been the Holy Spirit. I believe in the Holy Spirit. Anyway, so the Holy Spirit started visiting me, and I could feel the sensations in my body. And I didn't really know what was going on. I was like, oh my gosh, am I going to speak in tongues? And I was like, okay, because back then, the way that my mind was programmed, it was kind of like this is something cool. Like if you're a real Christian, then you speak in tongues. It was like ridiculous. But I full-fledged, I kind of got hit with a beam of light in my third eye, and I just started seeing. It is so hard to explain sometimes, but I just started seeing, like, if I know that there's a lot of people, and I do this too, remote viewing. It's just kind of comes with how we develop in our gifts, okay? But I started having the ability to see through the celestial realms. I had conscious interactions with other beings, definitely God. It was like the most beautiful experience ever. And it lasted for 13 hours. I was just filled with so much love and peace. And it was like time stopped. I was aware of these people around me. They were freaking the fuck out. Like, who are you? Like, these people tried doing an exorcism on me. It didn't work, because there was nothing going on. But I started writing in different languages, and I filled up notebooks. I started writing because I was basically trying to bring down information from what was happening. And I remember this time, it lasted for about half a day. I was in a public setting. It just completely opened up, and I remember having visions. And I was trying to write everything down, but I would try to write in English, but it would come out in different languages. I was hearing the translation in English so I could understand, but what was coming out of my mouth was, I don't know how many different languages I was speaking that day. But I remember it so vividly, and I remember the beauty, and I remember the cosmos, and I remember that I was being taken, not like, when I say that, not like abducted, right? I was conscious, but my mind was being taken, and I was being shown the dimensional like what I have words for now. Okay, back then I had no words. I didn't know. Now that I have the words and am able to articulate, this has been 18 years of practice, okay, and experience. So back then, now I know I was being taken through different dimensions, through the heavens, through places that was just pure consciousness, just pure color, pure sound, colors that we can't even see here on planet Earth. I had experiences on different planets. I remember one of the beings that I met, his name was Enoch. Of course, we know of Enoch. That was one of my guides back then. And I was filled with this peace. I saw Yeshua. Yeshua is Jesus. Had a relationship with Yeshua since I was a little girl. And this experience changed my life forever. And so I'm taking you into the mind of a multidimensional seer. And I want you to know that for the longest time, I couldn't speak this way. So those of you who are also in the shadows hiding your gifts, and you feel that same pull to not only bring your gifts out to the world, but that fear of judgment, that fear of persecution, that fear of, well, who am I to really talk and bring this stuff out into the world? I want to encourage you to start. Or if you're already doing so, bring it out a little bit more, because I know that there's more to you than just being a psychic or an intuitive. I know that there's more to you than just being a healer and an intuitive. Okay? It's where we're headed. And what I mean by that is the third dimension is nothing but fear. It's nothing but separation. It's the birthplace of war. The third dimension is a split consciousness. You versus me. Us versus them. Right? Third dimension is where we are, most of our value systems are, we're human beings, and all of us were born into a third dimension, mostly. The kids now are more being birthed into like fourth, fifth dimensional consciousness, but most of us, probably watching this video, were birthed into third dimensional consciousness. So we learned, me versus you, us versus them. And it's very competitive, very mundane. Our value system's more around like scarcity and survival. Now then we have, these are what I call octaves, like just like in music, okay? Now dimensions, it's not just like, okay, one on top of the other. It's kind of like a rainbow, okay? You need connectors, right? And when I just want to let you guys know that in the month of December, I am teaching I'm actually starting a 6-month course. It's a multidimensional energy practitioner certification course, accredited. And you are going to be learning not only the concept, but the actual experience of how to see these dimensions and know exactly where you are at for yourself, and maybe a facilitator for others. Anyway, so the third dimension and fourth dimensional consciousness, and no matter what, there's these little threads, right? These little sutras that connect us. So most of us experience the fourth dimension through our dream time or astral travel. All right. So the fourth dimension is more of the akasha or acacia plane. Okay. This is why those of you who read the Akashic records or do energy work beyond the third, fourth dimension, this is where we access time and space. This is where timelines come in. And I'm going to be talking about that to you today. So timelines. I'm going to make that note real quick. So the Akashic plane, right? And this more has to do with how most of us operate day to day, third, fourth dimension. Now, fifth dimensional consciousness has been a hot topic since I was about, for me, like fifth dimensional consciousness started becoming like a hot topic around like 2006, 2008, or 2006, 2007. And I remember channeling back then, it was like fifth dimension, all this fifth dimensional stuff coming in, right? And I didn't understand it. So the fifth dimension is the in between the Akashic plane. I want you guys to know, I personally, now this is my personal opinion, I personally still feel that aspects of the fifth dimension are still a little dense. Now, that denseness that I particularly don't care for is still part of like the fourth dimension, right? So these little lines, these little sutras that I'm making is just an illustration to show you that the dimensions are not so solid. It's like not like, okay, I'm in the third dimension, then boom, I'm in the fourth dimension, then boom, I'm in the fifth dimension. It's a streamlined consciousness through the human vessel, okay? through all of us. We experience it all. And there's the little sutras, or the little lines, the little threads that connect us, is where we experience dimensional or quantum shifts. You have to move through, sometimes physically, energetically, emotionally, spiritually. You have to move your consciousness, your cells, your molecules through these dimensional frequencies. This is the entire reason, the entire purpose of this YouTube channel, is to give you the energy updates, so that way you know exactly what's going on. This basic understanding that we are multidimensional beings, that we are pure, and we are pure consciousness, and we are also the facets of multi-dimensions. Okay? We operate between dimensions. This is the purpose of your energy systems, your chakras, your nadis, your meridians, all right? And other energy systems that I'm going to be illustrating for you, that I have been working on for 7 years. It's finally time to bring this out to the planet. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys, because the nature, let me just put it this way. A third dimensional consciousness is not the same vibration as a fifth dimensional consciousness, right? We have to understand our energy fields and how they work, all right? So this is the same, essentially the same person. This is someone in 3D. This is someone, same person in 5D. You got to move from the energy of the third dimension to the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension. And when you access the fifth dimension, it's so much easier like to flow and bring a lot of that influence into time and space. So that is basically what I just broke down for you, is the law of attraction. Okay, in through the perspective of dimensions, okay, because that's how I see it. When I do manifestation work, when I do healing work, when I do activations for abundance and other things for people, I'm looking at their the basically like wormholes, and through their consciousness, through their auric field, through their dimensional layers. Okay, and this is stuff I'm going to be teaching inside of Soul Mission. So the fifth dimension, I'm going to start here again. The fifth dimension, that's there. The fifth dimension is the birthplace of unity consciousness, all right? And this is where Gaia is ascending, and this is why the ascension or the earth shifts are going to be so vast, because this is more speed, like fast, and because we are ascending, vibrational, we're ascending, these shifts and these emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical experiences are going to continue to happen, meaning ascension symptoms like headaches, our cells are upgrading naturally, our DNA is being activated naturally, our RNA is being activated naturally. So much is shifting, and that's because, one, Gaia is ascending and her energy systems are opening. All right, they're being activated. What has been dormant is being activated. Now, same thing for fifth dimension. Now, this is what we need to know, or what I would like to share with you, is that your spiritual gifts are mostly activated in the fourth dimension, okay? That the Akashic plane, or the Akasha, ether. Spiritual gifts, your senses, like your clair gifts, your psychic work, your medium work, your well, that's basically it. Telekinesis, telekinesis, telepathy. That's fourth, fifth dimension. Okay, even telepathy is a necessary skill through higher dimensions, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if I don't hear back from you guys, because telepathy has been increasing. especially last month, which was October 2020, November, December, and definitely through next year, telepathy is going to be increasing. Okay. You guys need to understand that this is normal. Our abilities are normal. And as Gaia continues to ascend into the fifth dimension, you can help yourself out by adopting cleansing, purifying practices for your mind and your body, and definitely being committed to your soul mission. So the unity consciousness begins to open up and helps us. Oh, let me do my little threads. Into the sixth dimension. So fifth dimensional consciousness, personally, I still feel it's like a little low. It's kind of like, and I'm not being judgy or anything like that. It's just an experience. But fifth dimensional consciousness is really where we can have a little bit more of a connection to the celestial beings, like celestial beings that I was talking about. I usually see the celestial realm or the heavens, those really beautiful light experiences between the sixth and seventh dimension. It does drop through into the fourth sometimes, but as we as multidimensional beings access higher consciousness, which is essentially the vehicle of your third eye, and your chakra system and your aura or your bioelectromagnetic field working together to have these experiences. It's not like the body is, the light body is traveling and having these experiences, but you experience this through the mind. You experience this inside, right? It's your experience. But the sixth dimension, I like, it's like, it's very celestial. There's a lot of like that higher ET consciousness, like those of you guys who, I'm just going to throw out some names that are really popular. There's so much more out there, but like the Pleiadians or the Arcturians or the Lyrans or the Venusians, a lot of those helper beings that are here to assist humanity. Excuse me, I dropped my dry erase marker. But between the sixth and seventh dimension, that's where a lot of that help comes from. I'm going to throw out the word Abraham Hicks. When I listen to Abraham Hicks, just for example, right? Other consciousness, you don't have to be in a body. Some of this I'm going to be teaching inside of Soul Mission and helping you have these experiences. Not me, but facilitating the guidance or the journeys to help you connect consciously through these dimensions. Some enlightened consciousness, it's just pure light. Some of it is plasma, a lot of it's plasma energy. And there's little entry points to different realms through the dimensions. Okay, it's very technical sometimes. So I just wanted to share that between the sixth and seventh dimension, that's where I personally come in contact, and I'm sharing this information. So I hope that, in some way it helps you, or if you've had some of these experiences, maybe it helps connect some dots for you. I just hope that it helps you in any way. So this is where I start, definitely when I'm teaching either a student or a group of students. When it comes to our soul plane, I see the soul plane as a ninth dimensional gate, okay? So kind of like down here, it's like a free-for-all, but once you hit like some of your own ninth dimensional energies, that's when you come in connection with the pure, like your soul imprints, not your past lives, not your Akashic records. Please, there's a difference, okay? Not your past lives, your soul imprints, something completely different. I'm going to be teaching on this. I will be, but for your reference right now, look up the word samskara. Samskaras are imprints at the soul. And that is a Sanskrit word essentially for an imprint. There's influence on the psyche, on the mind, that the soul experiences have a play in our karma. Okay. And when I say the word karma, I don't mean like like I did something, so therefore it's going to come back to me. It does, but I mean karma for action, right? So your actions and your experiences at the soul level. So beyond the ninth dimension is where our soul begins to, basically the ninth dimension and above. The ninth dimension and above, and I'm going to keep this short, is where we begin to have our experiences with our inner self. And I don't mean higher self, I don't mean like your human inner self, I mean your soul. And the soul's energy is a vast energy, and it can spread through the dimensions. You can be conscious, and this is what I love. I love this. This has been my life most of my life, being conscious of your multidimensional consciousness. And it has been a trippy ride, you guys. And I'm saying that just because I know that I'm not the only one that has these experiences. I know for a fact I'm not the only one that, is essentially walking between two worlds, right? That's very like more shamanic language, walking between worlds. We all walk between worlds. All of us have the same capabilities. Every single one of us is intuitive. Every single one of us is psychic. Every single one of us is telepathic. Every single one of us has the ability to affect one another's consciousness. We're one. We are literally one consciousness. So when we get to the ninth dimension and we begin to understand our imprints and our own soul mastery, which this is what I live for, is our own soul mastery. And I don't mean that in a way that's manipulative or controlling, or like, I am the master, like that I get to, have some sort of like dominion over others, right? No. I mean that inner soul mastery of creation within, of loving oneself from within, from learning from your own soul and your own soul's experiences from within. And so it's very important that where we are headed as a species, as our planet continues to shift, that we awaken not only our fourth dimensional gifts, which is your intuition, your psyche. Well, intuition is like third, fourth, it's like the bridge between, but your intuition, your psychic energy, and blending the earth energy with the acacia or the ether. That's basically like earth magic. A lot of the earth magic nowadays, it's very old. It's old earth magic. We don't need that anymore. I don't mean to be talking about this, but we don't need it anymore because the earth has not descended. She is more of like a fourth, fifth dimensional being. So what we think we become, we can just instantly manifest. We can think it, and so it is, because the speed. So we don't necessarily need a lot of like the old outdated systems. And that's why the age of Aquarius is here. This is why we are moving and ascending. This is why we are going to be mastering our multidimensional consciousness through the next 4 to 5 years. Okay. So just know that you're not weird, that you are you might be having these experiences, some of which I did describe today, like, and it's normal. It's normal, So I'm going to stop at the ninth dimension today, because our only job right now is to create an intimate relationship with our own understanding of our soul, our soul's purpose, and how to continue to open up. And it looks different for everyone, you guys. It looks different for everyone. At the beginning of this video, I shared some of how I opened up. And to be honest with you, it's so traumatizing. I lost friends, I lost family. I spiraled into depression. It wasn't all this like amazing, beautiful stuff. Sure, I was cracked open and I experienced love, but I was so afraid, and for a very long time. And this is why I'm an advocate for not only you awakening your gifts and normalizing your gifts, but also a teacher because I understand the pain and the isolation that comes with owning your gifts, and owning that you're not just a third dimensional being to live for a 9-to-5 job, for paying your bills and leaving this planet. There's so much more to this life. There's so much more to you. And I know that you know that. And I want to encourage you to continue to seek yourself, to continue to seek your own soul's vibration, to continue to seek your gifts and open them, for they are a part of you, they are you, and they're some of the most beautiful aspects of you. I want to share with you guys, when I see people, you know, I see everything that you're connected to. It is so amazing. I see, you know, how you're connected to the celestial realm, the angels, and I'm going to drop it down a little bit, your guides, and just all of your beauty. And this is where we're headed, meaning the experience of true unity consciousness, that we can see ourselves, one another, and have deep reverence and respect and love and appreciation for the person in front of you. This is where we are headed. That is what I live for, that experience, and co-creating those experiences. So I hope that this helped you and gives you a little bit of understanding through the dimensions, and also where you might be headed as an enlightened being, okay? As we are all waking up and as we are all coming home to one another. So just know that you have support. You have support from me. You have support from other people out there who are on a very similar journey as you. I want to let you know before I jump off that December 8th, I am starting a 6-month program called Soul Mission. It is a multi-dimensional energy practitioner certification where you are going to be trained in the metaphysical healing arts of how to do upper dimensional energy healing, psychic work, etc. Big etc. And if you would like information on those details, please reach out to me, Kira at thekiraking.com, or click the links below. There's some links down there. So that way you can reach out to me or book a call with me. I'm off. It's a must that if you are interested and you want to move forward, that we have a 20-minute call. So I just wanted to let you know those links are below. If we're not connected on Facebook, please find me. I would love to hang out with you. And if we are not connected on Instagram, all my links are below. They're on different platforms. I offer different things. So, but most importantly, if you're not connected to me on Facebook, that's mostly where I'm at, and in my Facebook community called Soul Awakened Leaders. I appreciate you and I love you, and I'm so thankful for you. I will see you soon. Bye.